Well. So Dana White just announced uh, the whole card for Noche UFC, and we finally got clarity on what's going on. So Sugar Sean O'Malley versus Merab Davashvili finally got booked. It's happening September 14th. And guess who decided to grow a pair? Valentina Shevchenko decide, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to take the risk and I'm going to fight Alexa Grasso, whether it's on Mexican Independence Day or not. So Grasso is not fighting Manon Fiorot. She's fighting Valentina Shevchenko. They got unfinished business because they're 1-0-1 because, the second fight was a draw and, there was no winner, even though I thought Grasso won. I think it's 2-0 Alexa Grasso. Still, I think she's got to further cement her legacy by beating Valentina a third time. And if she can win this trilogy, she's going to further solidify herself as the best flyweight in the world. And there's going to be no more doubt moving forward about Alexa Grasso's legacy, as a champion. She won't be known as the woman who robbed Valentina in a draw. She'll be known as the woman who beat Valentina twice. I want to say 3 times, but on a technicality twice. Defended the belt from her. And then we move on. And I'm just glad that Grasso gets to fight in the Sphere. And yeah, I'm also glad that Merab and O'Malley are fighting. I think it's a good matchup. Should be a fun fight because even though Merab doesn't have the most fan-pleasing style, he can be exciting. Like, he will push a pace. And I could see him going out there and trying to take the fight to O'Malley, overwhelm him with pressure, combined with lots of takedown attempts, and he might put himself in danger in the line of fire to get countered by a dangerous sniper like O'Malley, which makes this fight exciting. Or I could also see Merab playing it safe, being cautious while working the takedowns, but either Merab's going to go out there and grind down O'Malley with his Merab style, or he's going to get chin checked, he's going to get sniped, no in between, one or the other. Right now, I do not have an official prediction. This is one of those fights where anything can happen, and I just do not know. But I am sure that Alexa Grasso will defeat Valentina again. I'll give a more concise, clear breakdown on the trilogy in an individual video. But right now, just talking about all the announcements. Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopez gets rescheduled for this card, as should be, and it's going to be in the featherweight division. It's not going to be at lightweight like it was supposed to be at UFC 303. When they were supposed to initially fight, it was going to be on short notice to replace the fallen out co-main between Hill and Olberg. But then on the day of, Brian Ortega pulled out, which was very disappointing because I was really looking forward to seeing Ortega versus Lopez because Brian Ortega is very underrated. I think Brian is a good test for the young and dangerous prospect in Diego Lopez. But now both guys, they get to have a full camp, which I think makes this fight more interesting. So I think both guys are going to be prepared. They're not coming in last minute. And it just might be a blessing in disguise for both parties that they get this fight on a full camp. And I'm glad it's happening at featherweight because whoever wins this fight, it will affect the rankings in the featherweight division. If Diego Lopez wins, he's automatically going to be in the top 5, top 3. And that's going to boost him straight into title contention. And if Ortega wins, he turns back the hot prospect in Diego Lopez. And then he can move forward with his plans of going up to the lightweight division. Because initially, Ortega was planning on beating Lopez at 303 and then fighting on the Sphere in the lightweight division. But who knows? If that fight with Diego went through in June, Brian may have lost. He may have taken brain damage. And he may have not been able to fight on this card. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a banger. It's going to be a fun scrap. I'm still sticking with my Diego Lopez pick, but do not sleep on Brian Ortega. He does have a good chance. But the rest of this card, I don't know. The rest of this card is kind of meh. The rest of the card sucks. I mean, Raul Rosas Jr. versus Auriclang, wherever his name is. I don't even know how to pronounce it. But that's happening. Don't care. But Irene Aldana taking on Norma Dumont. I'm not sure if it's going to be on the main card of the prelims. So let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is probably the main card. Should be on the main card. But yeah, the rest of this card is disappointing. And I think there's, 5 fights? Yasmin Uribe versus Ketlin Souza to kick off the card. I don't think this is the official bout order. Ronaldo Rodriguez versus Odie Osborne. Edgar Chairez versus Kevin Borges. And Manuel Torres versus Ignacio Bahamondes. I think this should actually be a good fight. I think these two are fun prospects. I think I've seen some of their fights before, and I think they've had some entertaining fights, but the reason why I'm disappointed with this card is because Dana White promised us this would be one of the biggest sporting events of the year. This is the first event in the Sphere, and this is the card lineup. I mean, Dana literally said this could be UFC 300 level. But look at this card. Does this look UFC 300 level to you? I think 306 would have been better off if they could have done a triple headliner. If they could have had Max Holloway, Ilia Topuria as the main event, as rumored on the French broadcast, and then Sean Merab as the co-main, and then Grasso, Shevchenko as the feature fight, triple header. And then Brian Ortega, Diego is like the second fight on the main card. You have Aldana to kick off the pay-per-view. That would be a good main card. But yeah, I don't know. These 9, 10 fights on this card, other than the main event, co-main, and Ortega Lopez, this card doesn't really have any appeal. It doesn't really have any hype. Not many fights I'm excited for other than Irene Aldana. And Ortega Lopez and Grasso Shevchenko 3 and O'Malley Merab. Again, I think this card is hella mid, and I think they could have done better. They could have done better with this pay-per-view. That's all I'm going to say. So I guess Max Holloway versus Ilia Topuria is going to headline UFC 307 in Salt Lake City, Utah. I don't know why they're going to Utah for that pay-per-view, but I guess that does give some clarity on that matchup, when it's going to happen, and I guess Tatiana Suarez won't be part of this card, and she'll probably fight Wei Li on MSG. But, yeah, hopefully the card delivers, though. It looks like a dud on paper. It's not 300 level, not as good as 299, not as good as tomorrow's card, 304, not as good as 298. This looks like it will be UFC 297 level at best, UFC 301 level at best, and those were some of the worst pay-per-views of the year. Oh, and so is UFC 303. Those were terrible. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Who do you see winning these matchups, and are you looking forward to it? Like and subscribe, and peace out.